Arctimo. There's a smell that brings back summer on the farm like nothing else. Fresh cut hay drying in the sun. Diesel exhaust mixed with sweet alfalfa. And dust. That fine golden dust that got everywhere during hay season. But more than the smell, there's a sound. The rhythmic chunk, chunk, chunk of a baler. Working down a windrow, the metallic clang of wire ties or the snap of twine. And if you were really lucky, the distinctive two-cylinder pop of a John Deere pulling it all. These are the sounds of hay season, and they're inseparable from the machines that made it possible. Hay balers that turned loose hay into manageable, stackable, storable bales that could feed livestock through the winter. Before balers, making hay meant loose stacking, pitching hay by hand onto wagons, hauling it to the barn, and forking it into the mow. It was back-breaking work that took weeks and entire families. Then came the hay baler, a machine that could pick up hay from a windrow, compress it, tie it, and kick it out the back in a neat portable package. Suddenly, one person with a tractor and baler could do the work that once took a dozen people with pitchforks. It was a revolution in agriculture, and the balers that made it happen became legends on farms across America and around the world. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most legendary vintage hay balers ever built. From early wire tie models to sophisticated twine balers, from small, square bales that built character in every farm kid to the first revolutionary round balers. Each machine on this list changed how farmers put up hay. Whether you remember bucking bales in the heat of summer, the satisfaction of a perfectly shaped bale sliding out the chute, or the anxiety of keeping a temperamental baler running through a threatening weather window, you're about to take a trip back to the golden age of haying. Let's dive in. Number 10, new Holland Model 65 wire tie baler. Coming in at number 10 is the new Holland Model 65, representing the early years when balers tied with wire instead of twine. Introduced in the late 1940s, the Model 65 was New Holland's entry into the post-war baling boom when farmers were rapidly mechanizing their hay operations. The Model 65 was a pull-type baler that created small square bales tied with two wires, one near each end. The wire tie system was simple and reliable, though it required more maintenance than later twine systems. The baler featured a plunger that compressed hay into a chamber, and once proper density was reached, a trip mechanism activated the wire tying system. Two pieces of wire were fed around the bale, twisted tight, cut, and the finished bale was ejected out the rear chute. What made the Model 65 significant was New Holland's reputation for innovation and reliability. The company had pioneered automatic baling in the 1940s, and the Model 65 represented refined engineering that worked season after season. Farmers appreciated the Model 65's consistent bale size and shape, critical for stacking in barns and loading on trucks. The wire ties, while more expensive than later twine, created very tight, stable bales that held their shape even in tough handling. The Model 65 could be pulled by tractors in the 20 to 30 horsepower range, making it accessible to smaller farms. From small dairy farms in New York to hay operations across the Midwest, the Model 65 proved that mechanized baling was practical and reliable. Today, the Model 65 is remembered as representing the transition from loose hay to baled hay, when farming took a significant step toward modern efficiency. Collectors value wire tie balers like the Model 65 for their historical significance and the clever engineering that made automatic baling possible. Number 9, International Harvester Model 45, Baler. At number 9, we have the International Harvester Model 45, a twine tie baler that represented IH's commitment to building dependable haying equipment for American farmers. Introduced in the mid-1950s, the Model 45 was sized perfectly for small to medium-sized farms, making the transition from wire to twine balers. The Model 45 featured International Harvester's straightforward engineering philosophy. Build it simple, build it strong, and make it serviceable. The baler used a traditional plunger system to compress hay into the bale chamber, with a twine tying mechanism that created two-tie bales. IH designed the Model 45 with robust components and accessible maintenance points, recognizing that farmers needed to keep balers running during narrow weather windows when hay was ready. What set the Model 45 apart was reliability in tough conditions. The Baler handled various hay types well: alfalfa, timothy, clover, mixed grass, and continued working when moisture and crop conditions varied. The pickup system featured sturdy tines that lifted hay from the windrow without excessive leaf loss, important for maintaining hay quality. The chamber was designed to produce uniform bales that stacked well, and the twine tying mechanism was remarkably consistent. International Harvester equipped the Model 45 with practical features farmers appreciated: easy tensioning adjustments for bale density, accessible needle threading for the twine system, and a discharge chute that kicked bales out cleanly. The bright red paint became a familiar sight during hay season, and IH's extensive dealer network meant parts and service were available when needed. The Model 45 found its home on dairy farms, beef operations, and horse farms where hay quality mattered. From Wisconsin dairy country to Kentucky horse farms, the Model 45 proved that IH understood what farmers needed in a baler. Number 8. Massey Ferguson 10 Baler. Moving up to number 8 is the Massey Ferguson 10, introduced in the early 1960s and representing Massey Ferguson's global expertise applied to North American haying. The MF10 showcased what happened when an international manufacturer brought experience from diverse agricultural markets to create a baler for American conditions. The Massey Ferguson 10 featured sophisticated engineering for its era. The plunger system was designed for smooth, efficient compression with minimal power requirement, allowing smaller tractors to operate it effectively. The bale chamber featured adjustable tensioning that gave operators precise control over bale density, critical for different hay types and storage requirements. The twine tying mechanism was notably reliable, with features that reduced misties and kept the baler working through long days. What made the MF10 particularly interesting was attention to hay quality. Massey Ferguson engineered the pickup system to minimize leaf shatter, preserving the nutritional value in alfalfa and clover hay. The wide pickup could handle generous windrows, and the tine spacing was optimized for clean pickup without excessive dirt and debris. The bale chamber design produced consistently shaped bales that stacked beautifully, important for farmers marketing hay or maximizing barn storage. Massey Ferguson painted the 10 in their distinctive silver and red livery, and it quickly earned respect in hay country. From Canadian prairie hay operations to American grass hay farms, the MF10 proved reliable and efficient. The MF10 established Massey Ferguson as a serious player in the North American hay equipment market. The baler's reputation for producing quality bales with minimal crop loss made it a favorite among farmers who sold premium hay. Number 7. John Deere 14T Wire Tie Baler. At number 7, we're highlighting the John Deere 14T, one of the most iconic wire tie balers ever built. Introduced in the late 1940s, the 14T represented John Deere's entry into modern hay baling and became legendary for reliability and longevity that defined the Deere brand. The 14T featured John Deere's characteristic over-engineering. The frame was massively built, the plunger was heavy-duty, and every component was sized for sustained operation under maximum load. The wire tie system used 2 wires per bale, creating extremely tight, stable packages that could withstand rough handling and weather exposure. John Deere engineered the 14T with oversized bearings, heavy chains, and robust gears, the kind of construction that meant decades of service rather than years. What made the 14T truly special was dependability during critical haymaking windows. When weather threatened and hay needed to be baled immediately, the 14T kept working. The simple, robust design meant fewer breakdowns. And when maintenance was needed, farmers could service most issues themselves. The 14T could be pulled by 2-cylinder John Deere tractors in the 20 to 40 horsepower range, and the sight of a green tractor pulling a 14T Baler became iconic across American farmland. That distinctive 2-cylinder Johnny Popper sound, combined with the rhythmic chunk of the baler working down a windrow, became the soundtrack of hay season. The 14T produced consistently sized, tightly tied bales that stacked perfectly in barns and held together during transport. From small dairy operations to larger hay farms, the 14T proved John Deere understood what farmers needed: Many 14T balers worked for 30, 40, even 50 years before retirement, and some are still baling today on small farms using vintage equipment. Number 6. New Holland 273 Square Baler. Coming in at number 6 is the New Holland 273, a baler that defined the small square bale era for a generation of farmers. Introduced in the 1960s and produced through the 1970s, the 273 represented New Holland's refined approach to twine tie baling with features that made haying more efficient and reliable. The 273 featured an improved plunger design that created denser, more uniform bales with less power requirement. The bale chamber was longer than earlier models, allowing better compression before the bale was tied. New Holland equipped the 273 with a sophisticated twine tying mechanism featuring 4-tie capability, 2 standard ties or 4 for heavier bales or rough handling conditions. This flexibility was unusual for the era and gave operators control over bale security. What set the 273 apart was consistent performance across varying conditions. The pickup system handled dry hay, slightly damp hay, heavy windrows, and light swaths with equal efficiency. The knotters, those ingenious mechanisms that tie and cut twine, were remarkably reliable on the 273, reducing the frustrating missed ties and stops that plagued earlier balers. New Holland designed the 273 with practical features farmers appreciated. The tension adjustment was simple and responsive, allowing quick density changes for different hay types or moisture levels. The discharge chute could be adjusted for wagon height, making loading easier. The 273 became the baler of choice for professional hay operations, custom balers, and serious farmers who needed maximum productivity. From alfalfa hay in California to grass hay across the Great Plains, the 273 proved it could handle anything. Number 5. International Harvester 430 Baler. Breaking into our top 5 at number 5 is the International Harvester 430, a baler that represented IH at their peak in hay equipment engineering. Introduced in the late 1960s, the 430 was designed for farmers who needed serious capacity and reliability in demanding haying conditions. The 430 featured International Harvester's heavy-duty construction philosophy taken to the next level. The plunger was massive and driven by robust gearing that could handle sustained operation in heavy hay without strain. The bale chamber was designed for high-density compression, producing tight, heavy bales that maximize barn storage and maintain quality through long storage periods. IH engineered the 430 with commercial hay operations in mind. This was a baler built for thousands of bales per season, year after year. What made the 430 particularly impressive was reliability under pressure. When weather windows were narrow and hay needed to be baled immediately, the 430 kept working. The pickup system was weighted and aggressive, capable of handling heavy windrows without plugging. The twine tying mechanism featured IH's proven knotters that functioned consistently even in dusty, high-speed conditions. The entire drivetrain was overbuilt. Chains, sprockets, and bearings were sized generously, eliminating weak points that caused breakdowns in lesser machines. International Harvester equipped the 430 with features that increased productivity. The bale chamber length allowed for longer plunger strokes, meaning each compression cycle handled more material. The discharge system ejected bales reliably, maintaining rhythm for wagon loaders working behind the baler. The 430 found its market with large-scale hay producers, custom balers running multiple machines, and farmers who needed absolute maximum productivity. From massive alfalfa operations in the West to large dairy hay operations in the Midwest, the 430 proved that IH understood commercial haying. Number 4, John Deere 336 Square Baler. At number 4, we have the John Deere 336. Introduced in the early 1970s and representing John Deere's most refined small square baler design. The 336 showcased what happened when John Deere applied decades of baling experience to create the ultimate conventional square baler. The 336 featured sophisticated engineering throughout. The plunger system utilized optimal stroke length and compression timing, creating dense, uniform bales with minimal power requirement relative to bale density. John Deere engineered the bale chamber with precise tolerances, ensuring every bale met consistent dimensions critical for automated handling and stacking. The pickup system featured Deere's proven design with excellent crop flow and minimal leaf loss, important for maintaining hay quality and value. What set the 336 apart was reliability and longevity that became legendary. John Deere built the 336 with their characteristic over-engineering. Every component sized not just for the job, but for sustained operation under maximum load. The frame was robust, the gears were heavy-duty, the bearings were oversized. This wasn't marketing. It was engineering that understood farmers needed balers that worked season after season without major issues. The twine tying mechanism featured Deere's advanced knotters that rarely mistied, keeping the baler working productively through long days. John Deere equipped the 336 with features that made haying less stressful. The tension adjustment was responsive and stayed set, eliminating the constant readjustment that plagued some Balers. The drive system was designed for smooth power delivery, reducing shock loads that caused premature wear. The 336 became the choice for serious farmers who valued productivity and dependability above all. From horse hay in Kentucky to dairy hay in Wisconsin, the 336 proved it could meet the highest standards. Number 3. New Holland 273 Hayliner, later evolution. Breaking into our top 3 at number 3, it's the evolved New Holland 273 Hayliner, representing the pinnacle of conventional square baler technology. While we mentioned the 273 earlier, the later versions produced through the 1970s incorporated refinements that made this baler the professional's choice for premium hay production. The refined 273 Hayliner featured New Holland's most advanced plunger and compression system. The engineering focused on producing extremely dense, uniform bales that maintain their shape and density through handling, stacking, and storage. The bale chamber design was optimized for consistent compression regardless of hay type. Whether alfalfa, timothy, clover, or mixed grass, the Hayliner produced quality bales. New Holland's attention to maintaining leaf retention meant the bales preserved maximum nutritional value, critical for farmers producing premium feed hay. What made the refined 273 Hayliner truly exceptional was versatility across conditions. The pickup system handled varying windrow sizes and moisture levels without constant adjustment. The knotters worked reliably whether baling in perfect conditions or pushing through marginal hay when weather threatened. The baler maintained consistent performance from the first bale of the season through the 10,000th, a reliability record that few competitors matched. New Holland's reputation was built on balers like the Hayliner that worked when it mattered most. New Holland equipped the later 273 with features that professional hay producers demanded. The hydraulic tension adjustment system allowed precise control over bale density, important for maximizing value in premium hay markets. The monitoring system provided feedback on bale count and performance. The 273 Hayliner became the standard against which other balers were measured. Custom operators running multiple balers often specified New Holland for reliability and output quality. The 273 Hayliner represents conventional square baling at its absolute peak. Before round balers changed the industry, this was the machine that defined hay excellence. Number 2, Hesston 4900 Big Square Baler. Taking the number 2 spot is the Hesston 4900, representing a revolutionary step in baling technology. The big square baler that changed how large-scale hay operations worked. Introduced in the 1970s, the 4900 created large, dense rectangular bales that brought efficiency to commercial hay production. The 4900 featured dramatically different engineering from conventional small square balers. The plunger was massive, driven by heavy-duty gearing capable of creating bales weighing 800 to 200 pounds, roughly equivalent to 16 to 24 small square bales. The bale chamber was sized to produce bales approximately 3 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet long, creating packages that could be handled with forklifts and loaders rather than by hand. Hesston engineered the entire system for commercial scale. This wasn't a machine for small farms, but for operations moving thousands of tons of hay annually. What made the 4900 revolutionary was the productivity step change it represented. A single 4900 could replace multiple conventional balers in output capacity. The large bales reduced handling time dramatically. One forklift move replaced handling 2 dozen small bales. Storage efficiency improved significantly. The large bales stacked tightly with minimal void space. Transportation efficiency increased. Trucks and rail cars could carry more hay in fewer, larger units. For large hay operations selling by the ton, the 4900 represented a fundamental improvement in economics. Hesston designed the 4900 as a professional tool for serious operations. The pickup was wide and aggressive, capable of handling massive windrows. The compression system created extremely dense bales that maintained integrity during multiple handling and long-distance shipping. The 4900 found its market with large-scale commercial hay operations, export hay producers, and custom operators serving extensive agricultural regions. The 4900 earns the number 2 spot by representing the future direction of hay production, mechanization and scale that transformed hay from a labor-intensive crop to an efficient commodity. Number 1, Vermeer 605 Series Round Baler. And taking the number 1 spot on our list is the Vermeer 605 Series, the round baler that revolutionized hay production more than any other machine. Introduced in the late 1970s, the 605 series represented the most fundamental change in baling since the invention of the baler itself, creating large cylindrical bales that could be left in the field and eliminating the need for immediate barn storage. The Vermeer 605 featured a completely different approach to baling. Instead of a plunger creating rectangular packages, the 605 used rollers to form cylindrical bales, rolling hay into dense rounds that could weigh 800 to 1,200 pounds. The process was elegant. Hay entered the chamber and was rolled by a series of belts or chains, gradually forming a tight cylinder. When the bale reached the desired diameter, twine was applied by an automated wrapping system, and the rear door opened to discharge the finished round bale into the field. The entire process was continuous and automatic. No stopping for tying, no rhythm to maintain, just steady baling until the chamber was full. What made round balers like the 605 truly revolutionary was the elimination of the most labor-intensive part of haying, picking up bales from the field and moving them to barn storage. Round bales could be left in the field, weather protected by their dense construction and outer hay layer that shed rain. This single change transformed haying economics. One person with a tractor and round baler could put up an entire hay crop without help. There was no need to coordinate crews for bale pickup, no pressure to get hay into the barn before weather threatened, no barn storage space required. The round bale fundamentally changed how farmers approached haymaking. Vermeer engineered the 605 series as a practical tool for real farming. The bale chamber was sized appropriately for common tractor power. 40 to 60 horsepower tractors could operate it effectively. The pickup system was simple and reliable. The wrapping mechanism was straightforward and consistent. The entire machine was designed for serviceability, with maintenance points accessible and wear parts easy to replace. Vermeer understood that round balers needed to be reliable because farmers were often working alone. There was no wagon crew to help if something broke. The 605 series found success across every type of farming operation. Beef cattle ranchers appreciated the labor savings and elimination of barn storage requirements. Dairy farmers used round bales for dry cow and heifer feeding. Horse farms created excellent hay in manageable packages. Custom operators found they could service more customers with less labor. From small hobby farms to large commercial operations, the round baler proved that sometimes the best innovation is the one that eliminates work entirely, rather than making it more efficient. The impact of round balers like the Vermeer 605 cannot be overstated. They enabled farmers to continue producing their own hay, even as family labor left for other opportunities. They made hay production viable on farms where barn storage was limited or absent. They reduced the physical demands of haying, extending farmers' productive years. Round baling became so dominant that by the 1990s, rectangular bales were becoming rare outside of horse hay and export markets. What really earns the Vermeer 605 the number 1 spot is legacy. This machine didn't just improve hay production, it fundamentally changed it. The round baler represents innovation that solves problems so completely that it becomes the new standard. Every round baler on farms today traces its lineage to pioneers like the 605 series. Vermeer created not just a successful product, but an entire category that transformed agriculture. And there you have it, the top 10 most legendary vintage hay balers ever built. From the new Holland Model 65 that helped to transition farming from wire to twine, through workhorses like the John Deere 336 that set standards for reliability and quality, to the revolutionary Vermeer 605 round Baler that changed hay production forever. Each one represents the golden age when haying equipment was built with robust frames, dependable mechanisms, and engineering focused on getting the hay made right. These machines didn't just make hay, they were the centerpiece of summer on the farm. They represented crucial weather windows when everything depended on getting hay baled and protected before the next rain. They were the source of the hardest work farm kids knew, bucking bales in July heat, but they were also the source of pride when the barn was full of quality hay, ready to feed the livestock through winter. The sound of a baler working, the smell of fresh hay, the satisfaction of bales stacked tight in the mow. These are the experiences that define agricultural heritage. Which baler on this list brings back memories for you? Maybe you ran one during hay season, or perhaps your family still has one working. Did we miss a baler you think deserved recognition? We want to hear your haying stories. Drop a comment below and share your experiences with these legendary machines. If you enjoyed this journey through baling history and want to see more deep dives into the equipment that built modern agriculture, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell. We've got more vintage equipment, more agricultural history, and more forgotten innovations coming your way. Share this with fellow farming enthusiasts and anyone who remembers the golden age of hay season. Thanks for watching Classic Farm Iron, and we'll see you in the next one.